Hi, I'm Andrew Wasson. Thanks for joining me for my weekly guitar blog. It's February 22nd, 2015, and this week we're going to be discussing minor key seventh chords. And this week's question was sent in from Ivan R. He's out in Eden Prairie, Minnesota, and he wrote in with this email. I have trouble understanding the ways that seventh chords are used in minor keys for jazz and classical music. Major seems pretty straightforward, but minor is confusing. The chords that get me are the use of dominant seventh and diminished. Where are they played? Also, how should I be composing with the minor major seventh chord? A fundamentals lesson on minor key seventh chords would really help. From Ivan R. in Eden Prairie, Minnesota, USA. Wait, thanks for writing in, Ivan. You know, when it comes to comparing major key harmony to minor key harmony, we get into some confusing territory there. The major keys are clearly defined, but minor has three common forms: the natural, the harmonic, and the melodic. And this creates a lot of confusion, especially how in classical music, the melodic minor has an ascending and a descending version. So in this lesson, I'd like to cover the basics for where we will most commonly find the dominant seventh, the diminished seventh, and the minor major seventh chords in harmonies from the different forms of minor scales. So let's get started. Well, in getting started, I'll begin from the most common of minor harmonies, which is the harmony from natural minor. Now, the chords found within natural minor scale are used to compose most of the songs that we hear in the most popular styles of music. This includes rock, pop music, R&B, and country, just to name a few. And the seventh chords commonly used in these progressions consist of predominantly the major seven, the minor seven, and dominant seventh to a certain extent as well. And in my first example, I have a short chord progression from the key of A natural minor, and it uses a root chord of A minor 7, a fourth degree chord of D minor 7, the sixth degree chord of F major 7, and a fifth chord of E minor, and then we go down to the seventh degree chord of G dominant 7th. So here's how it all sounds. Another popular minor key harmony comes from the second form of minor called harmonic minor. Now, this form of minor scale has a raised seventh degree, or what we also refer to as a major seventh in the minor scale. It's built, of course, on the seventh step. And if we were to use the root of A and build a harmonic minor scale from that root, we would have the seventh scale tone become G sharp instead of a G natural, as we would have found it in the natural minor. So natural minor goes like so. And then harmonic minor brings that G natural up a half step and creates harmonic minor. Now, the raised seventh tone affects two of the chords built within the harmony, and they are the fifth degree chord. So off the key of A, that would be that E minor, and also the seventh degree chord, which in the key of A again would be that G dominant 7th. And what happens to those chords is they change quality. So the idea is basically that raised seventh affects the third degree of that E and causes it to become major, giving us a dominant seventh off that E. And then in the case of the the G dominant chord, the root pulls up obviously from G natural to G sharp, and that gives us a chord type of G sharp diminished. Actually, diminished seventh I'm playing right now. So that's what happens there. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take that original progression that we had from the first example there, and I'm going to pretty much keep it almost identical, except of course those last two chords are going to switch from being the E minor 7 to G dominant 7th. Those are going to now become E dominant 7th to G sharp diminished 7th. So here's how the progression sounds now. Well, the next progression I have takes a look at the unique sounds of the minor, major, seventh chords. Now, in the next example here, I'll play through an arpeggiated idea that'll be moving through the chords of an E fifth sound. And then we'll move into a D minor sound. Then we're going to resolve on that A minor major 7. It's a very particular, it's a very uncommon harmonic effect off that chord, and one that you likely won't hear very much in popular music styles out there. However, it will show up in jazz and classical, and it'll also appear in different orchestral pieces, maybe found in things like a movie or television soundtracks. So anyway, here's how this example that I have, you have the minor major 7 chord a part of sounds when you play it through. Yeah, I'll play one more time for you. Well, for my last example, I wanted to once again apply the very different sounds of the minor, major, 7th chord. And this time I'll be getting it to operate within a different minor situation. The chord harmony will be a little bit different here. It's going to be from Dorian mode, and we'll be borrowing the minor, major, 7th from the world of harmonic or melodic minor scale harmony. Now, in this example, we're going to get to hear a really interesting effect of how the minor, major, 7th chord can be used to begin a chord progression. So we're going to have it actually starting the chord progression for us. From there, an E minor 7/5 chord is going to show up, and we're also going to have a D dominant 7th 4 chord, taking us back around again to the top, which is resolution into A minor. So here's how everything fits together. And one more time. Well, as you've just seen, the use of dominant 7th, diminished 7th, and the minor major 7th chords in minor keys can be quite specialized. And in order to get a good idea of how they function within each of their own harmonic situations, it's important to spend time studying each of the scale harmonies. Once the chords are well known and you've had time to test them in several chord progressions, then you'll be able to begin using them more, as well as noticing them more in the different pieces of music that you're playing. Now, luckily, the fingering patterns for these chords are all quite reasonable to create on the guitar, and so in a relatively short period of time, you should be well on your way with their different musical applications. Anyway, that's about all the time I have here for today. As always, thanks for watching. Have yourself a great week, and we'll catch up with you next time. Bye for now. My Blues Guitar Styles ebook is a masterclass course covering a huge amount of information with 8, 12, and 16 bar blues progressions, classic blues styles, plus all the important chord patterns. There's over 50 pages of information, including sections on blues techniques like slide, alternate tuning, and bending. This ebook has everything the guitar player needs for a solid foundation in blues guitar, including 27 MP3 audio tracks for easy at-home study. Blues Guitar Styles is available for instant download in the View Our Products area at creativeguitarstudio.com.